Rebecca Klopf on your news leader.
Sean and Kristen, in the original case, there were 14 defendants. They were all supposed to be tried together in Winnebago County in one courtroom in front of one jury. They had tracked a man to the home behind me on 20th Street outside the old Bob's Hardware. I'm here next to Winnebago Road. US 20 is just behind me. The wind has kicked up so much. I was actually kind of pushed over a little bit. We are dealing with absolutely everything out here. We've had fog, we've had rain, we've had freezing rain, and possibly freezing roadways. It was an emotional day of testimony here at the Winnebago County Justice Center as friends of Lori Daniels took the stand. Last year, Illinois State Police issued more than 2,600 speeding tickets this holiday weekend. So don't be surprised if you see this in your rearview mirror. Hey, Eric and Katie, I'm out here where the event has just gotten underway in this 1949 Willys Jeepster. Good morning, Michael. I'm here at Belvedere North where the sun is just starting to rise. It might only be 6 a.m., but I've got a crowd full of excited students behind me. Just a beautiful night here. I'm standing at the Fork and Stein food truck. We're actually going to head out here inside the food truck. This is the only food truck serving food at the Rockford City Market. Sean and Kristen, I'm here off Interstate 39 at about mile marker 85 here in Paw Paw. At the rest stop you see behind me, a woman's body was discovered murdered. Last night, police say around 7:15, a woman was found here. She's been identified as 44-year-old Tanya Bargman from Monticello, Illinois. Bargman's car is also missing. What police did find was Todd Hansmeyer's car. He was killed Monday at a Rockford business. Police say Dottie drove off in it after beating Hansmeyer to death, then setting part of the business on fire. Now they think Dottie has taken this latest victim's car. They're asking people to be on the lookout for a Nissan Altima, Illinois license plate BARGMN2. However, police say if you see it or Dottie, do not approach him. Just call 911. Now, we did talk to Illinois State Police. They say they are in contact with federal officials, and they do have a nationwide law enforcement alert out for Dottie. Sean and Kristen, I'm here at the AAR facility in Indianapolis. I cannot tell you how gigantic this place is. You look up, the roof is 9 stories above me. This building itself, 1.3 million square feet. We were walking for miles before we hit these airplane hangars. This hangar itself, I'm standing underneath a Boeing 717. There were 3 of them in here. Next door, there was a 777 and one of these planes. Now I'm joined by Joel Bobian. He's in charge of aircraft maintenance here in Indianapolis. Tell me, is this the type of facility that we are going to be seeing in Rockford?
Oh, absolutely, just on a little larger scale.
It's unbelievable to think that we could get even bigger than this facility. Behind me here, you've got a Boeing 717. What kind of plane is that, if you could explain it?
It's more of a smaller regional jet type, and then the 777 is a wide-body aircraft, which is much larger, kind of like the Dreamliner that we're also looking at. And those wide-body airplanes employ even more people. And how many people do you guys employ here to maintain these planes? Roughly right now we have over 500 mechanics and then several hundred support groups along with that. Typically on these aircraft we will run 30 to 60 people per shift depending on the maintenance needs. And we also have a 24-hour operation, so you do the math. And you were saying these regional jets are mainly what you guys do here, along with some of the bigger planes. What are we going to be doing in Rockford? Are we going to be possibly maintaining the Dreamliner or something like that, or something different? I believe that's what the intentions are for the Rockford hangar, exactly. Okay, well, Joel, thanks so much for talking with us this afternoon. Sean and Kristen, I'm down here reporting in Indianapolis at the airport. I'm going to throw it back to you guys.
We start tonight with a 13 News exclusive. It's been a year since Booker Washington Center announced it was facing major financial problems.
This, of course, all happened after the previous leadership was let go. Today, we found out specifics of the financial trouble the downtown center faces.
13 News' Rebecca Klopf has been following the story all day long and just got new information both from Booker and the Illinois Department of Commerce. She joins us live in the newsroom with more on this. Rebecca?
Sean and Kristen, the Commerce Department tells me the Booker Washington Center misused state money granted to them back in 2011. The Commerce Department says Booker owed the state $200,000 of grant money. That, they say, was misappropriated by the center. The grant was supposed to be used for building improvements, but instead, they say the money was used for payroll. We also found out today from Booker's executive director, Jesse Bates, that the center still faces a $150,000 mortgage debt, as well as $88,000 that is still owed to vendors. So with the funds owed to the state, along with the center's current debt, Booker is facing $438,000 that it must repay. That $438,000 is actually down from months ago, as they've been able to pay back $58,000 in payroll taxes that they owed to the federal government. This has been a long process for Booker, but they tell me they do have a plan to fix it. A year ago in July, this was the message.
Let's do what it takes to just make this a better, save our community center.
Booker Washington Center had just announced it was on the verge of bankruptcy. Everyone on the payroll was let go. It had been months since any of its staff or bills had been paid. Acting Executive Director Jesse Bates says at the time it was facing $300,000 in debt. The debt isn't gone except for the most pressing, the payroll taxes.
I think it was $58,000. That's paid.
Was there any other debt that you have been able to just get rid of off the books?
Nothing that we've been able to get rid of off the books. I mean, except for little minor things.
It is still facing nearly $440,000 in debt. $150,000 of that is the mortgage on the building. Booker has worked out a plan for that. It has another $88,000 of debt it still needs to get a payment plan for.
We're paying down the debt with mostly special events, what we've earned in special events, what we earned from sales of services, what we earned for rentals, that kind of thing.
Bates says Booker also plans to reopen its resale shop. Plus, it's charging fees for its sports and activities, something it never did before. Though it's taking donations, that's not the plan to keep Booker afloat.
You just can't go out there and say, you know, well, we didn't do everything right, but just give us the money anyway. You can't go asking people for money until you have that solid reputation that people feel comfortable with.
For your news leader, Rebecca Klopf, 13 News. Now, Bates is not commenting specifically on the Department of Commerce situation, saying an ongoing negotiation is underway to repay that misappropriated funds to the state. However, they do acknowledge that there was wrongdoing under the previous leadership. Sean and Kristen, back to you.
Now, Rebecca, really quick, what is the Department of Commerce saying about how Booker is handling the situation?
Yeah, they say Booker is fully cooperating with the state. They do acknowledge that they did something wrong. Their hope is that Booker can continue its operations in Rockford once everything is resolved. For now, reporting in the newsroom, Rebecca Klopf, 13 News.
Sean, I'm here outside the Belvedere School District headquarters, where just about an hour ago, a dozen members of the teachers union walked through those doors behind me, and they handed in a letter. It was a notice of intent to strike. Now, what that means, no one is walking off the job yet, but they do have the legal right to do so in 28 days. Now, that is on October 16th. In the meantime, the teachers and the district must turn in their last best offers. They have now just 7 days to do that. That is actually going to be after their next bargaining session, which is scheduled for Tuesday. Now, in the meantime, the teachers union says its focus is going to be at school, in the classroom, and it's going to remain on the classroom, not on this situation.
We encourage our teachers not to discuss this on school time. We're still doing a job, and that's educating our students. Of course, there's always some questions. They've seen us and seen what's going on, and they pay attention to what's going on. And we just say we're not on strike, and we're still working at avoiding that.
The Belvedere School Superintendent Michael Houselog says he doesn't think that the board and the teachers are really all that far apart on the issues, and that they are both going to continue to negotiate. Now at 6, I'm going to talk to the BEA president about what some of those sticking points are. I'll have a one-on-one interview with him. In the meantime, reporting live in Belvedere, Rebecca Klopf, 13 News. Sean, back to you.